It's probably one of the most well-known and important maxims of moral philosophy, for quite good reason. It's very interesting and well formulated. But Kant's categorical imperative is often misunderstood. The quote that goes one of two ways: either one should never act in such a way that one could not will that one's maxim should be universal law, or act only in accordance to that maxim by which you can at the same time will that it should become a universal law. So there's the positive and the negative formation of that. It's often misunderstood to be, don't do anything you wouldn't expect everyone to be doing, if that makes sense. Don't steal, or don't rob, or don't stab people, because if everyone did that, the world would be an unpleasant place. But that's not exactly what Kant is trying to say. He wasn't trying to push a system of morality. He's not the type of philosopher you'd come out at the end with a idea of a system. He was just trying to convey the fact that morality is a system we place upon ourselves. It may not exist as a functional, structured thing, but it exists as a concept that we can work within ourselves. So he's basically moreover trying to say, you wouldn't want to will something that doesn't make sense to be willed entirely. If everyone stole, you wouldn't have, value in theft. You wouldn't be doing these things yourself because they become nonsensical. The immoral, when done out of goodwill for some kind of gain, there is the gain, but when everyone is doing it, it loses that gain. Not only is it immoral, as it always was, it becomes nonsensical to do, because when it becomes universal law, it uses the value that's intrinsic with breaking universal law. You can no longer do it for the benefit of being immoral. You have to keep your will being in sense. You need to make sure you're only doing as is sensible and as works within morality, because when you are trying to work within morality, yet, destroying these boundaries of morality by making it sort of bordering on immoral, but cutting down the line in between, it's not the categorical imperative, because there's, no sense of keeping your maxim within the moral or out of the immoral by keeping it from universal law. It just ends up sort of splurged in the middle without the concepts of being on either side. You destroy the boundary of where moral is and where moral is, when neither really exist. It's just a sense of status and symbol that you give yourself. You follow the rules of whatever you feel yourself a part of, and you need to keep yourself within your own system, and your own system will only make sense to yourself. But when you push it out to a sort of view of other people, if it doesn't make sense, it can't be moral. There's no benefit, there's no reason for morality when, immorality loses substance, basically. You need immorality to exist for morality to exist. It's the system of opposites, basically. And you have to keep one and stay in one. You have to stay moral to stop being immoral, if that makes sense. They don't exist entirely separate. They are two sides of a coin, basically. There's a good and a bad. There's not either or.